So I've talked a little bit about different types of campaigns that we should be doing, should and should not be doing, what I would do for a setup, things like that. I've kind of dabbled a little bit into service, but it's always fascinating to me that the part of a dealership that takes up 2/3 to sometimes 3/4 of the real estate of a dealership's imprint. And typically we spend if we're lucky, we'll spend 10% of our digital advertising budget on fixed ops. That's always been amazing to me. I highly, highly recommend you reevaluate and audit what you have going out, what you're spending, and how you're cultivating your fixed ops campaigns and audiences and that portion of your website, your email, your text campaigns, all that stuff. I highly recommend that. And I'll give you some kind of what I would do type of scenarios here. So for email and text campaigns, some people run them through Dealer Logic, some people run them through CDK. Like there's all types of different places that you can run those campaigns. So make sure you're not duplicating your efforts. The last thing you want is your customer to get 3 different emails from 3 different companies talking about the same exact thing. That you can complement them to each other. I had that conversation today with the store. They didn't want to send out an email campaign for a recall, for recalls for their store because it was already being sent out on their behalf by the manufacturer. That's great. So why don't we run a text campaign to complement that email campaign? They love that idea. So that's a way that you can complement what's already running and not duplicate the effort. I would highly recommend, if you have a CDP like we have AutoMiner, and I'm biased for sure, I highly recommend you cultivate your audiences accordingly. One of the highest producing audiences for results that I've seen is actually the never serviced audience. And if you have an opportunity, a budget, or if there's a promotion going on with the company, buy some conquest data. The list I would buy if it were my dealership would be people who owned the on brand that I sell. So for example, if I had a Ford store, I would buy the conquest data for anybody who owns a Ford who didn't buy it from me within a 30-mile radius of my store. And I would be actively marketing trade campaigns, service campaigns specifically to that audience. So just some ideas what you can do with not only with our tool with AutoMiner, but through other email CDP type companies. Making sure that you're focusing your messages on those people who are past due serviced, like I said before, never serviced, and there's certain windows of past due